everybody, welcome back. The fly that we're going to tie up next is going to be, I actually don't know what the name of this fly is called. It's basically just a simple little soft hackle fly, and I've really had a lot of luck with it lately, so I thought I'd go ahead and tie it up. And you can fish it in a few different colors, which I'll show at the end of the video. But the three that I fish the most are olive, tan, and pink. So today I'm going to tie up the olive one, and then it's pretty simple to adjust the other colors to fish, for the other flies. So we're tying it on a size 12 nymph hook, standard nymph hook, and it's as you can see, it's got a pretty short shank, which is what you want. So we're going to go ahead and tie down our olive thread. You'll be surprised when you see how simple this fly is to tie. We're going to want a little rib on the fly, so I'm break off a little piece of silver extra fine wire, lay that down, tie that up the shank, and now from the top of the fly is where I'm going to put in my dubbing, and I am using, I don't know if you guys can see that, using squirrel dubbing. So I'll pull out a little piece of olive, and the reason why we keep our thread at the front is because I want to dub to the back of the fly and then back to the front of the fly, so it kind of beefs up the body a little bit. And for some reason, I've never used dubbing wax, and my flies, I mean, they always seem to stay together. I don't have any problem with the wax or with the dubbing coming off, so just kind of wet my fingers, twist the dubbing around the thread, work our way to the back. Make sure you cover up everything, and then work your way back to the front. Need just a tiny bit more. Dub up the front and leave a little space at the top because that's where we're going to want to tie in our hackle. Now I'm going to take the wire and I'm going to reverse wrap that for the rib. Also helps to keep the dubbing where it needs to be. Should be able to just twist that and break off. Okay, now for the soft hackle. What I'm using is a white saddle hackle. I think it's a number 3 white saddle hackle. And the hackles that I use on this, at the very bottom, you'll see there's a bunch of really short hackle that you really wouldn't use for anything else. And so I'm going to make use of those. I'll pluck one off and show you kind of what it looks like. That's the hackle that I'm going to use. It's fairly short. The hackle fibers aren't too long, and it should be just about the right length. So what we do is, before you get to the bushy part, we're going to go ahead and break that off. We trim it's kind of hard, I got the shakes. Okay, we go ahead and trim the tips off, and that's what we use to tie it down. When you trim the tips off like that, it gives the thread something to grab onto. Make a few wraps, get that good and tight, and then we can make 3 wraps to tie it off. Go ahead and trim it. And now is to make it look like a soft hackle. Just going to pull those back, pull all the fibers back, and tie right over the top of it. Build up a small little thread, or little head here, and grab my whip finish. and flip in and whip finish at the top. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And this is a great fly. I usually fish it. I'll fish it two different ways. Sometimes I'll fish it as a trailing fly behind some sort of bigger point fly and basically just nymph it under an indicator. Or I'll also fish it as fish it on some sort of either sink tip or a line with a lead leader on it, and without an indicator, and swing it, through some of the deeper runs. And it seems when you do it that way, as soon as that fly goes from the bottom of the river, and it starts to kind of swing and come up in the water column, the fish just hammer it. And it's a really fun way to fish because you really get some pretty powerful takes. But both ways are good, and so yeah, I would experiment with both of them. So that's just a simple little olive soft tackle.